to be part of this cohort in particular is because I firstly want to be that person that I didn't have as a young professional when I started out my career, and also just really to empower more women. We need more women leaders. So this is an opportunity for me to give back. And yeah, thank you.
Great. Who's going to go next? Mokihana, do you want to go next?
Aloha, hi everyone. My name is Mokihana Maldonado. I'm from Hawaii, from the island of Oahu. I just graduated yesterday actually from the National Democratic Training Committee. Thank you. So I'm an official Democratic leader nationally for the US, and I'm training to be a software developer. I joined this program because I'm just really passionate about making a positive difference in the lives of young professionals. Nice to meet you all.
Love, would you like to go next?
Yes, hi everyone. My name is Sankola Love. I joined G4G as a mentor because I'm passionate about young people. I am a management consultant analyst at Accenture. I started my job last year. So apart from that, yes, I'm passionate about girls, women empowerment.
Thank you so much, love. Thank you. Alida, would you like to go? Alida, are you there? Esther, would you like to go?
I'm happy to go. Good evening all, or good afternoon all, depending where you are in the world. Yes, I'm Esther, and I joined G4G about a month or two now. And why I joined is because personally, I've been, for all my career life, I've got about 25 years old of experience in corporate as a director or a non-executive director or in a global corporate institution. And I've really learned a lot about growing into corporates and the challenges and what not to do. And I've really been bruised and I've been pained by the culture of corporate. And I said to myself, I will never, ever, ever allow any woman to go through what I went through. And rather I'll prepare them to be focused and to look forward to the world of corporate, which is very cold and very not your uncle's place or Uncle Bob's house. And yeah, so I'm part of this program because I want to make a difference. I have naturally been involved in grooming women and young executives. And I'm being one of my biggest story to tell is that while I've got over 25 years experience in global and corporates, I was retrenched, and I was the only Black woman executive human director retrenched in a global company. And I did not understand, but now I know it can happen. But now the issue is, how do I prepare another woman to knowing that with the economy, with the COVID, with everything else that goes out there, you are not guaranteed, you are not safe. And how do you prepare yourself for the eventualities? That's me. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you. All right, Sibisiswe. I saw you earlier. You are here, yeah? No? Go on.
I'm coming on, sorry. I'm somewhere very far from home. Hello everyone, my name is Phetso Ntsowe. I'm from the Northwest, but I'm in Joburg now. I work in journalism at Phetso University. So my reason for joining G4G is mostly like to empower girls because I work in tertiary education. I see a lot of girls who need this type of mentorship while they're going through tertiary studies and trying to find themselves. So if I can make a difference, like even in one person's life, that for me works.
Thank you. Look. Thank you, Sibisiswe. Simpiwe, are you here?
I am.
Here we go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Simpiwe, and I am an attorney by practice, by profession. I'm also a yogi and a lot of other things on the side. Joined G4G because I understand, especially this cohort, I understand what it's like to study one thing and feel like you need to do that, but also have other passions and other things. So if I could make a meaningful difference in someone who isn't necessarily strict about their career path and wants to know how to incorporate all their different interests and hobbies and talents into this one being, yeah, that would be awesome. And I would really love to be the person that I never had, you know. Yeah, just to encourage people and just like, you can do it all.
Thank you so much. Yes, you can do it all. And we do it all the time, right? Women do it all the time. But we just like to take on that power and acknowledge how amazing we actually are. Let's see, Lorato, are you on the call? Lorato, are you here?
Hello, I'm not sure if it's this Lorato that you're referring to.
Lorato, our mentor. Go ahead.
I'm not sure about that.
Go. Okay. All right. Sorry. Could you just mute yourself if you're not speaking, please? Thank you. All right. Who else? Milka, you here?
Yes, I am. Hi. Hi, I am Milka. Milka Njarane. I'm a retired banker. I've been banking for 15 years. I'm currently living in Johannesburg, but I'm from Nairobi. I joined this cohort because I believe that women sell themselves short so many times, and I want to help raise up someone else. If I can help one, that will be enough. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Alida, can you go? Alida? All right, I'm not connecting. Alida, are you there? Milelwa, are you here? All right, have I forgotten any of the mentors? Please, if you don't mind speaking up if I've forgotten you. Is that everybody? Okay, thank you, beautiful mentors. As you can see, mentees, we have a phenomenal group of women in the room tonight. And these are the women who are going to start us on our journey. I am just going to now introduce a little bit more about G4G and our topic. Let me just share slides again, if you don't mind. Thank you. Can you see my screen? All right, so our schedule for this evening, we're busy with the introductions, and I'm going to now introduce a little bit about our topic for the evening. We're then going to go into have our keynote speaker. We then will go into the mentorship circles, and then we will come back into plenary and talk about some of the lessons that we've learned from our circles, and then we will have our closing. A little bit about how G4G started, for those of you who weren't at the orientation session. It was started at Harvard in 2016 by a group of global women who were very upset about Hillary Clinton losing the election, and they decided that they would want to build a program that allowed women to actually become future leaders. You can see the founders in this picture. They are all actively involved still and doing a lot for building. We started in 2016, we're now in 24 countries. What are our goals? Our goals are to enable you to actualize your leadership potential. All of you are leaders, every single one of you in this room. We want to create a pipeline of women leaders to be entrepreneurs, managers, directors, CEOs, judges, ministers, presidents. And what are your benefits for being here? Okay, you are going to gain knowledge and information about leadership. You're going to gain skills in effective communication and negotiation. We're going to help you find your voice and your mission. And we want you to learn ethical and value-based decisions. These are key things. But the thing that underpins everything, and the thing that makes this program so phenomenal and makes this program work, is that you're going to be part of this sisterhood that belongs to 24 countries. It starts with the woman that you meet in this room this evening, but it can grow into allowing you to create a network of people globally, women who are going to fundamentally change the world. You will be exposed to women like Phetso and the amazing mentors that you have on the group this evening, who will allow you and give you opportunities to do amazing things. And our targets are 1 million mentees and 100,000 mentors by 2025. Isn't that incredible? I think that's an incredible goal, and I think we're going to make it. What is our challenge? We have women who can vote and run for office in every country, but they are not represented enough. Even though we make up 51% of the world's population, we only fill about 29% of the leadership roles. That's not acceptable. We've got to change it. And we've got to make sure that we are mobilizing female leaders all over the world. It's proven that where there are women leaders, things get better. As you can see in countries like New Zealand, countries like Iceland. We hope that a country like Tanzania, with our latest female leader there, it's shown that women make a difference wherever they lead. What is our theory of change? We want to create a nurturing and supportive environment, and we want to bring girls together across cultures to build confidence, courage, and curiosity. How do we do this? We do this through our mentoring circles, which you will be involved in a little bit later. We inspire by bringing these amazing speakers like Phetso, who will be talking to us a little bit later. And then we keep building the network, and we learn and get to know and share our stories so that we can actually grow and encourage each other. What is trust? So tonight's topic is building trust. What is trust? Trust is the glue of life. You all know that if someone has broken your trust, it's very hard to ever let them back into your life or be part of your life. It's so important. It's the most essential ingredient in any communication and in any relationship. And what do we want to do here today in this building trust module? We want you to build trust in yourself by reflecting, deepening your understanding, thinking about your strengths and your weaknesses, and what your likes are, what your dislikes are, getting to know who you are as a person. Then we want you to build trust in others. And this is your values, your ethics, your character, sharing your goals, your purpose, and listening to other people's stories. And then we want you to build trust in our system and our process. This is an incredible journey. And we have shown that it works. We have women who have graduated who are doing amazing things already, fundamentally changing the world already. From university students to high school students, we are seeing the change that it's bringing. And like Paulo Coelho says, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. Are there any questions about the Building Trust module this evening? Does anyone have any questions? Nothing? Does everybody in the session want to grow and build their trust? I hope so. Okay. So, sorry, my screen dropped again. So what are our objectives for this evening? We're going to create our circles, what we call the village. We're going to create safe spaces where you guys can actually talk. And we are going to talk about how important it is to build a network in a village, and we are going to build trust with one another. So to start our session off this evening, those are just the fundamental principles. I'm now going to introduce our amazing guest speaker, Phetso Ntsowe. And please excuse my pronunciation, Phetso. What a phenomenal woman. Wow. I mean, I promise you, the slide was too small to put on all the information that I needed to share about Phetso. She's a certified coach, facilitator, and speaker, nutritionist, banker, philanthropist, and a consultant. She has set a mission to help create opportunities for youth and women. She's the founder of Botswana Lean In to equip women to become effective leaders. And she's the ambassador for I Am Remarkable, a Google initiative empowering women. She's an I Choose facilitator, and she has an executive master's from Eastern Business School and strategy and leadership qualifications from UCT and Stellenbosch. Guys, that is very much a summary. You know, I shared her profile with you on the groups. Please read up more about this phenomenal woman, and let's listen to what she has to say. Sorry, let me stop sharing. Phetso, please go ahead.
All right. Hi, guys.
Welcome. We're so happy to have you here.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Great. I hope my internet doesn't disappoint me, because I'm getting a message saying that my network is unstable, but let's hope that I get through the presentation. So good evening, ladies, and thank you so much for inviting me. First of all, I would like to send out a huge congratulations to all of you here, the mentors, the mentees. The mentors, you're doing an amazing job. Big up to you guys. Big up to you guys. Women empowerment is what we really need right now. And the mentees, you are courageous, you are brave. Well done for taking this step. So always know that, you took an initiative for the betterment of the women now and the women tomorrow. So well done, ladies. And Val, thank you once again for inviting me. So yeah, I was nominated to speak about trust. Gosh. But when Val asked me to speak about trust, I said yes without any hesitation, because it is one of my values. I must tell you that it has been so challenging, because, trust is a big thing. All along I've been thinking, okay, what the hell am I going to say? So for the past 1 week or so, I've been really struggling to put my thoughts together, wondering, what am I going to say? And, I think I've been having a very difficult time, because trust is hard to define, but we do know when it's lost. Do you agree with me? Like, it's so hard to define, but when trust is broken, we know that, yes, indeed, trust is broken. So trust means different things to different people, I must say. It's predicated on who we are, on how we're raised, and it's shaped by our experiences and perceptions of other behaviors. So simply put, one could say that trust means confidence, the confidence that you have on other people, the confidence that people have on you. And the opposite of trust, we know that it's distrust, it is suspicion. So essentially, trust is a primary factor in how people work together, listen to one another, and build effective relationships. Yet, Yet, many people are unaware of the actions that influence trust. Trust is a critical link to all good relationships, both personal and professional. Society, organizations, and relationships aside, there is an even more fundamental and powerful dimension to trust, and that is self-trust. If you can't trust yourself, you will have a hard time trusting others. Just think about it. If you can't trust yourself, do you think other people would trust you? You will definitely have a hard time trusting others. And personal incongruence is often the source of our suspicions of others. If internally you are not right, if you don't trust yourself, you're going to have suspicions on other people. And in today's world, look at how we're connected. I'm sitting in Botswana and you are in different parts of SA. So in today's world, trust is so significant as we have entered a global knowledge worker economy that revolves around partnering and relationships. Here I am having an engagement with you, partnering with you, creating a relationship with you. That is why trust is so important. Val invited me here because she trusted me to be able to deliver on this subject. The ability to establish, grow, and extend, and restore trust with all stakeholders, be it in your personal life or your professional life, is the key leadership of the new global economy. You know very well that if you are a leader, and I'm not taking away the fact that Val did mention that every one of us here is a leader. And guys, remember that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So I'll now speak about titles. You know, you're a manager, or you're a CEO, you're a director. You know the importance of trust in the workplace. You'd know how much it means for you as a leader, for your team to trust you. So, who do you trust? Who do you trust? Do you trust a friend? Do you trust your supervisor? Do you trust your cousin? Your parents? And have you ever asked yourself, why do I trust this person? What does trust mean to you? Why do I trust my friend? Why do I trust Val as my friend? Have you ever asked yourself that? What is it that inspires confidence in this particular relationship? And most particularly, when someone says, I trust you, Maitumelo, I trust you, Esther, I trust you. What exactly does it mean? Have you wondered, why do people trust me? Now, consider even a more provocative question. Do I trust myself? Do you trust yourself? I mean, you want people to trust you, but do you trust yourself? And I will now maybe start getting into the whole topic of building trust. And I want to talk about these two, self-trust and relationship trust. Self-trust and relationship trust. I think, cultivating self-trust is crucial. If you can't trust yourself, how can anyone else trust you? On a scale of 1 to 10, I just want you to think about that for a few seconds. How much do you trust yourself from a scale of 1 to 10? How credible are you? Are you a credible person? When was the last time someone said these words to you? Sibusiso, I trust you. When was the last time you said that to yourself? I got this, girl, I got this. I'm gonna do it. When was the last time you said that to yourself? The good news, ladies, is that you can increase your credibility and to foster self-trust. When I did my research, and there's a book that I would recommend for you to read because it's a very good book. And my speech is really based around that book. It's called The Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey. I want you to get it. And I ask that you read it because it's a brilliant, brilliant book when it comes to trust. The speed of trust, speed of trust. So when I did my research around trust, I came across different principles that can help you increase your credibility. And, a lot of them did agree with Stephen Covey, And what they're saying is, and I totally agree with this, you can increase your credibility by showing integrity, and this entails being honest, standing by your principles and doing what you say you will do. Walk your talk, basically that's it. Do you say something else and then in return do something else? How many of us here know people or in an individual who says something, but in return, they do something? How do you trust such a person? And bringing it back to you, do you do that? Do you find yourself in circumstances where you have said something but did something else? Another thing that you can do to increase your credibility is intent. Intent, meaning positive motives and behaviors. Your capabilities, that is developing abilities that evoke confidence. And one last thing that researchers agreed on is results. You can increase your credibility by showing results, positive results, where you build a track record of deeds to which you have committed yourself. Get that, committed yourself. And maybe I can just go a little bit into the principles, and we'll start off by integrity. And to use the metaphor of the tree, integrity is the root. Even though it's underground and not even visible most of the time, it is absolutely vital to the nourishment, strength, stability, and growth of the entire tree. To most people, integrity means honesty, telling the truth and leaving the right impression. How often do you tell the truth? Do you bend the truth often? Yes, here and there we tell a little lie, and yes, it won't hurt, but you need to make sure that you are a person of truth. So that you leave the right impression. So how can you increase your integrity? Make and keep commitments to yourself, ladies, to yourself. A lot of us, we want to lose weight, we want to see ourselves wearing a bikini, want to go to Cape Town in December or whatever, wearing a bikini. And, we make all these plans and goals that I'm going to cut on sugar, alcohol, starch, wada. And then the first 2-3 days, it goes well. But then on the 4th day, on the 5th day, it's so difficult. And what do? We give up. We break those commitments. And you may think it's not a big deal. I mean, after all, nobody knows. But it's your commitment. It's a commitment that you made to yourself. So it starts there, self-trust. Remember, self-trust. Stand for something. To increase your integrity, stand for something. I believe we're all here because we believe in women empowerment. So are you going to stand for women empowerment only when you are in this session, or even when you're out there, you are going to preach women empowerment? What do you stand for as a person, as an individual? Be open. Be open, ladies. Be vulnerable. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't take away anything from you. I'm a branch manager. I have a team of 18 people. And there was a time when I had to stand in front of my team to say, I'm sorry. I apologize to all of you because I've made a mistake. And yes, it was so difficult. It was so difficult. It was so difficult. I spent the whole night tossing and turning, asking myself, am I really going to say, I'm sorry? Am I really going to apologize? But I wanted my team to trust me. And after having an honest conversation with myself, It was the right thing to do. So be open, ladies. Be open, be vulnerable. Show your emotions. It's okay to show your emotions. After all, we are in a sisterhood. We have one another to comfort one another, to take away the pain. Intent. And you can improve this by analyzing and redefining your motives, asking questions like, am I really listening to this person, or do I just want to win the argument? You've done it, I've done it, whereby we're in a conversation, I'm in a conversation with you, but I'm not really listening to you. I'm like, okay, she needs to shut up because I need to make a point. I need to win this argument. What are your intentions? Are your intentions genuine? So think about your intentions. Active listening, guys. I really, really hope that you are going to practice active listening in this cohort because it's very, very important. It's one of the things that will really help you to build trust. Your capabilities. One way to improve your capabilities is to keep learning. Learn from one another. Don't be Mrs. Know-it-all. No, you don't know it. And it's okay not to know. It's okay not to know. A lot of us, we think that not knowing somehow makes us stupid, especially as a leader. I don't know everything at my workplace. And if I don't know, I don't know. I have people in different roles that are there because of their expertise. And I trust them to do the job. So if somebody asks me something, I'm going to go to Val or Relebohile and says, hey, Relebohile, remind me here, what are we supposed to do? And Relebohile, because it's what she does every day, day in and day out, she will tell me. And you know what? I will then know. By that, I will increase my capability. Try reading on new developments in your industry or doing your own research in an area that you are interested in. Personal development is all about that. Take interest in something that is, outside your industry. If you're in finance, don't just read up on finance, read up on HR, read up on economics, read up on nutrition. To be able to hold a conversation, watch the news, what's happening on the news. Run with your strengths. As it is right now, do you know what your strengths are? Can you leverage on your strengths? Keep yourself relevant. We all know where the world or the economy is going. Digital. Everyone is talking about digital. Are you staying relevant? Are you current? Do you know anything about digital? If your employer was to retrench, get into an exercise on retrenchment, would your employer retain you because you are relevant? Or you'll be just like, yeah, whatever, let me just let that person go. She doesn't know anything, or she has just a grade, grade 10 or a diploma. So it's very important, guys, ladies, to stay relevant with what is currently happening in the market. Know where you are going. Do you know where you are going? Or are you just going through with life? Do you wake up every day knowing what you are supposed to do? Do you know where you're going? A lot of us, we are just drifting through life. So one thing that can help you increase your capabilities is to know where you're going. Results, results, results. I can't stress this enough. Results matter. They matter to your credibility. Returning once more to the metaphor of the tree, results are the fruits, the tangible, measurable end purpose and products of the roots, trunk, and branches. What are you delivering? What are the results that you deliver? Are you able to look back and see the results that you have delivered? I'm sure one of the ways that you can do that at the end of this program is, as a mentor, look back at what you have produced in terms of the mentees, and the mentees, you can look back and see, oh my goodness, I have grown. Those are results. And people evaluate results based on past performance, present performance, and anticipated future performance. How have you been performing? How are you performing? And how am I expecting to perform in the future? And I think all of us here, we want to be better than where we are right now. Take responsibility of your results. Take responsibility of your results, whether positive or negative. Especially negative. Failure doesn't have to define you. You learn from failure. I learned from many of my failures with my team. And yes, it did suck to admit that I was wrong, but when I sat down and thought about all that happened, I realized, oh my goodness, yes, I dropped the ball. Be open-minded, see the bigger picture. Expect to win. Ladies, expect to win. Expect to win every single day. Expect to win. Get up and take on the day. Conquer the day. A lot of us, we have confidence issues. We don't trust in our capabilities. We base our performance on our past performance. Like, oh, yes, I tried to lose weight 2 or a year ago, but I didn't manage. So why bother? No. When you start something, expect to win. Finish strong. Finish strong, ladies. Finish strong. And I know all of us here, we are going to finish strong. So ladies, by working on these principles, we develop our own self-trust. And in the end, it will help others trust us too. So that brings me to relationship trust. To establish trust in your relationships, you need to behave in a trustworthy way. How many times do we really believe the skirt chaser who uses charm and excessive flattery? When a man comes and, he's so flirtatious and he's so charming, he will kind of like earn our trust. So you need to behave like that. So as you progress through your sessions, are you behaving in a trustworthy manner? Are your sisters here? Can they trust you? And on a scale of 1 to 10, midway, at the end of the cohort, do you trust your sisters? Sisterhood is an emotional bond between women, and it's not always related by blood. In a sisterhood, female friends tell the truth, honor each other, and love each other like sisters. When we have this type of bond, there are countless number of benefits. How many times have you heard, I don't trust her? Even worse, I don't hang around with females. A woman saying that because they just don't trust a sister. Of course, we have issues just like men, but you can't deny how great it feels to be appreciated and uplifted by another woman. The same person society tries to put you against. Who's prettier? Who's smarter? Who's thinner? Who cares? I started my Lean In Circle. I was in SA 2019. I was attending a leadership conference, and there was a workshop around women leadership. And it was so shocking to hear that this is also happening in South Africa. And the women there were talking about how women don't support one another. And, this thing has always just shocked me. Like, okay, why, ladies? Why are we against one another? Why? And, I sat through the whole workshop just wondering, okay, I need to do something about this. I'm not going to just complain that, okay, women don't support one another, women hate on each other, women this, women that. I'm actually going to do something about it. And when I got back to my hotel room, I formed a Facebook group or something. I think so. Yeah, I formed a Facebook group because I was like, no, this cannot be real. I need to do something about it. And that's how really I formed my Lean In Circle. And this circle is based on the principles by Sheryl Sandberg. That's one book you should get. It's a very great book. So I encourage you to buy it and read it. So yeah, that is how really my circle was formed. Sisterhood wounds, they run very deep. Have you ever been hurt by a friend, by a sister, a female friend? Betrayal among sisters, among females, is one of the hardest breaches of trust to experience and work through. We gossip, we do emotional manipulation, wanting something from her when you don't really care about the relationship. We do all of that. We don't respect her boundaries. And most of us, if not all women, have done at least one of those things in our lives. We talk behind her back, but when she comes, she's like, "Hi, oh my word, I missed you." Ugh, please. There are many stories throughout history of women betraying women, and many stories of women who show deep devotion and loyalty, even risking their lives for the lives of their sisters. And we don't need to go to such extremities to support each other. But what history also shows is the primal power of women and how much more we can achieve when we don't compete, but collaborate and support. 2 more slides and I'm done. We want to trust that our sisters, when you are in this cohort, you want to know that the people, the ladies that are here, they have your best interest at heart, that they will celebrate your success with joy, even if they haven't experienced their own success yet, that it will put a fire in their bellies to find their own version of success rather than spiral into anger or bitterness because they don't have that thing yet. Sometimes we just get so bitter and angry because someone has something that we don't have. And ladies, to feel jealous is fine. It's indicative of what we want to experience ourselves. But what we do with that jealousy is what matters most. So I'll leave you with these questions today. What successes of friends or women you admire? I'll post this on the chat. Can you celebrate and give good energy to? How can you begin to heal past wounds of mistrust or betrayal from your sisters, from your friends, the people that have wronged you? And what can you do to help heal the wounds you have caused to your female friends? Ladies, we can achieve more, make a bigger difference, love more deeply, and thrive when we support and collaborate with each other. In this cohort, we need each other to inspire one another. You need your sisters to put you in your place. You need your sisters to love you. And in turn, for you to love them. The idea of shared sisterhood is we can't empower one another. We can't lift each other up if we can't show our true emotion to one another. If we can't be honest and say, hey, what you said hurt me. I'm dealing with this. I'm so frustrated. I'm sad. I'm happy. I'm proud, or I'm insecure. So ladies, I wish you all the best in your journey. Thank you.
Val, you're on mute.
I would know that by now. Thank you. We have some time for questions. Would anyone like to ask some questions? Any questions?
Hi, Val, Esther here. Sorry, I couldn't find my raising a hand, so sorry about that.
Go ahead.
I think it's not a question per se, Phetso. It's more sharing, a deep-rooted appreciation of what you have just shared with us. And honestly speaking, Phetso, I feel like I've known you for many, many years of my life. What you shared is nothing new. It's everything that we know and we do. And I must say, ladies, for me, I have stopped celebrating Women's Day. I've stopped going to those events that are called Women's Day, Women's Month, whatever, because what I hear every day is nothing but bashing each other. It's nothing but, saying all the wrong things and walking away from there and hoping that everything will be fine. And I'm sharing this because it really pains to see how we as women, to what Phetso has just said and touched on, we continue and we've stopped from being victims to being perpetrators because we do that to ourselves. And Phetso, I think, my son keeps walking into my office now and saying to me, "Ma, are you crying?" And I've been crying, And I pretend like, no, I'm not crying, I'm just my eyes closed. But I mean, whatever you've been saying, it made me tear a little bit because when is this going to stop? In an African language, we say, it's enough. But the question is, but other people, the Nguni language, as genoeg in Afrikaans. But the question is, when is it really going to stop? But Van, all I want to say is that thank you very much for always reminding us, for being in touch with ourselves, and for saying, if we're going to go out there and groom the young women, the young future, the young pipeline, what are we going to do differently? Thank you. Thank you, Val, and thank you, Phetso. And I must say, in closing, I had a meeting with one of my, just a bit of useless information. I've just been appointed the COO of IPM, Institute of Personal Management. So I had a meeting with the CEO, Dr. Jerry Gule. And then I was sharing with him about G4G. And I'm like, Dr. Gule, there is a space for G4G in our organization. Then I showed him your name. He said, oh, no, I've heard of Phetso. I've met you in the way Phetso talks. She's a dynamic woman. So just to say that, sisters, you have been recognized even in South Africa by the South African and African men who do different in the women's world. Thank you, Val. Thank you, President. Thank you, ladies.
We have time for one more question. Would anyone else like to ask a question? Phetso, thank you so much. You're going to stay with us for the circles, right? Yay, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to move you from circle to circle so everybody gets a chance. If you can just drop me a direct message and then I'll be able to move you to the next one when you're ready to go from one to the other, if that's okay. Cool. All right. We are now going to break into our circles. Ladies, this is now the most important part of the session. And what you're going to do in these circles is you are going to get to meet who your mentors are. Okay, please tell me if you can see this. You are going to name your circle. So we want to know a name that's going to be inspired by all the ladies in the circle. We want you to set some norms, and those norms are about what you want to, how you want your circle to run. Do you, give everyone a chance to talk, whatever it may be, listening, you decide within your circles. And because at the beginning of the session, we talked about what our expectations, G4G's expectations are of you, we now want to know what your expectations are of G4G. So please share those with your mentors. You got to meet the mentors at the beginning of the session. So they've had their chance to introduce themselves. Now it is the chance of the mentees to speak. And I want you please to each introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about yourself. Tell them your story. They want to hear about you. They want to know what your hopes are, what your dreams are, what your aspirations are. And then what we're going to do is we're going to choose a person to provide feedback in the plenary. So someone is going to have to come back and give feedback afterwards in the plenary. And that's going to be the brave person who's going to fundamentally share their voice for the first time in this session. And we hope we will hear your voices a lot more going forward. And just that last point, guys, it's a conversation, okay? Please share your experiences and please, please give everyone a chance to talk. Don't let people talk too much. Give everyone a chance to share their stories. So go and meet your village. We are going to have 45 minutes in the circle. You will have 45 minutes. You should get an invitation on your screen now to break out. And please enjoy yourselves. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you're going to tell us when you get back.
Hi, Val. Miko Hannah has a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Hi, Val, question for you. When you say the first point is name a circle, do we just, with the group, create a name? It can just be any name that we come up with? Okay.
Exactly. And it must be a name that you think is representative of your group. And it's going to be the name that's going to carry on with you through the zoo. You're going to stay in these groups, and this is going to be your village. So this circle will be your village. And I want you to think of a name that really represents you. And maybe the next time you can give us a little logo of your village. We'd like to see what logo represents your village. And we can show them at the next session, please.
Thanks so much.
Okay, let's go. Enjoy, ladies. What we'd like to do now is we'd like to hear back from each of the circles and just and hear some feedback and how you experienced it, what happened for you, what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy. Can we have room number 1, please? Who was in room number 1?
Hello.
Hi, Manisi, go ahead.
Hi, so I was in room number 1, but I'll also be speaking with the other mentee who was also in room number 1 because it was just only 2 mentees. I'm gonna start off by mentioning our group name. We went with the name Lotus, and there's a meaning behind this name that goes as follows. It symbolizes resilience because it's a flower that grows in water, and it's also a flower that represents self-regeneration. So us being here means that we already ignited and we are ready to grow and also develop. We also spoke about failure, so which is also something that is in line with this term as well. Failure, Phetso also mentioned that failure is a chance for one to actually do better. So with us being able to self-regenerate, we are also giving ourselves a chance to do better. It was also quite fun being in the group that I was in. Me and the mentee actually shared some of the same sentiments. We faced the same challenges, which is quite reassuring knowing that you're not alone out there. There's other people going through the same stuff that you're going through. And our mentees also shared some of their experiences as well and provided answers to some of the questions that we had with Milka that could actually relate to also in engineering, which is a stream that I'm also in. She shared how her experiences were, which I also found very helpful as well.
Anisi, I want to congratulate you as being the first mentee voice we've heard in the plenary. Well done, and you spoke so beautifully. That was so wonderful. Well done, well done. Thank you so much. Group number 2.
Evening, ladies.
Good evening.
I'm from group number 2, so we decided to name ourselves the leading ladies because as women we are born to lead and we believe that we are ready for that task. So in our group, we set a few ground rules, which include punctuality, being present, involvement, confidentiality, and confidentiality. And also we agreed that we'll have accountability exercises and also give ourselves coping mechanisms, especially to deal with procrastination, because it was one of the problems that each one of us was encountering. So we also discussed the working environment and how in most spaces women don't tend to nurture and they don't tend to uplift other women, especially those that are younger, and how we can change that. So yeah, that's what we were talking about. Thank you.
Beautiful, Likwani. Thank you so much. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you. I've just got a message from Manisi saying that Hlau also wanted to speak. Do you want to go ahead?
Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Well, as said before by my mentee, the name of our group is the Lotus, and some of the norms that we wanted to have as a group is being mindful of our language. So basically, we have to be mindful on how we communicate to each other as a group. We need to assume the best intentions. We need to always be present. We should always feel free to ask questions as a group. Our group should be free of judgment. We should always be willing to provide feedback, which will be helpful but not hurtful to each other. We should have fun. We should be open-minded. We should learn from each other, and we should respect everyone's confidentiality. And in closing, we all got a chance to explain or describe some of the goals and aspirations that we have. And my feedback from that topic was the fact that I believe all of us do have a variety of dreams and goals, but we're not meant to do one thing. We're all meant to communicate with each other and to have a common understanding of what exactly do you enjoy and how can I interact with you? How can I grow with you? Because I'm not meant to be an individual who does one thing. I am meant to be an individual who's diversified in a variety of things. Thank you.
Wow, that's all I can say is just wow, that was so beautiful. Well said. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, did anyone else from room number 2 want to say something else? Okay, room number 3.
Hi everyone, my name is Sakura. I'm going to be speaking for room number 3. So there were 2 mentors. Unfortunately, the connection of one of the mentees was out. So hopefully at our next chat, we can get to know her a little bit more. But basically, the name of our group is the Inquisitive Link. And the way we actually, Sarah is the one we should be giving thanks to, but the way that we actually decided on this was we came up with a couple of words that describe each other and then try to find some common ground in them. And one thing we realized was that, you know, we're all here to learn more about ourselves, learn more about each other, and just learn more about being successful and happy and content in life with everything. And so we used the word inquisitive for that. And then the reason we chose link was because we basically felt that we are a circle, but we're all joined in that circle. And so because it's a link, there's no beginning, there's no end, and we're always supporting each other through whatever movement we do. Yeah. And then the ground rules that we also try to establish ground rules. The one thing that we came up with, which I felt was important, was giving everyone a chance to voice whatever it is they want to voice. So having people not feel shy or not feel intimidated or not feel like they can't say what they need to say. Like, we get that some days maybe you don't have much to say, but you know, just always trying to contribute to the conversation, because you may have something that another person needs to hear. And then, yeah. And then we did like introductions, part of the icebreaker. And also what we want to try include every time that we do meet as a group is to bring something fun to the table in the beginning of our session. So we're each gonna have turns, the mentees and mentors included, where in the beginning of the chat, we're gonna do a little topic of the day, something interesting, maybe that we stumbled upon, maybe that we ate, maybe a song, maybe a dance. Something that we can all get the conversation started around.
Love, 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 Sakira. Beautiful. Thank you so much. That was so well said. Well done. Anyone else from group number 3? Okay, group number 4.
Hi everyone. Group number 4, the name we landed on is Power Pillars. So by definition, power means the ability to do something or to act in a certain manner. And pillar is a support structure. So if you combine the two words, we would land on as being the force, which is the power in uplifting each other and supporting each other in a positive manner. And that way we become stronger, not just as an individual, but together. So power pillars for room number 4. Right? We did our introductions. We all introduced each other. The conversations around the group, we discussed our aspirations, our goals, our passions, and what led to that as well is just to discuss pressing matters when it comes to ourselves and how we view ourselves. For some of it is confidence, for others it's where we want to do better in being an individual, right? Which also brings it back to self-awareness. Self-awareness is important because then you're able to link all the other shortfalls that you have, all the positive things that you have, and we can share that in a group, not only in the rooms, but with everyone as we're doing currently. So I'm just hoping that we all get to learn and just be positive with each other. And like Val said, I mean, the only way to do something is to do it with fear. So let's jump off the cliff, ladies. Let's jump off the cliff.
Katlego, you summed it up beautifully. From wanting to not be the one who spoke, you absolutely took it up, blew it out the water. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Do it afraid, ladies. Always do it afraid. I'd love to hear anything more from any of the other mentees or any of the mentors. Does anyone else want to add or say anything else?
Val, if I may, Esther here, I think this session went exceptionally well. I'm very happy and I'm so proud of being part of this session. It's my first session, official one, if you remember. And I feel like I've done it so many times. And thank you to everybody else for actually making it so easy and so homely and so welcoming. And it is so inspirational. I've learned so much from everybody else. And I hope I've given enough that could also make a difference. Thank you, Val. And thank you, all the ladies.
Thank you, Esther. We love having you here. Thank you so much for being here. Anything else from anybody? I just remembered that we've had someone in the back end helping and doing lots of work, and I didn't get a chance to introduce her earlier. So I'd like to just acknowledge Andiswa. Andiswa,
hi everyone.
Please turn your camera on and show everyone who you are, because you're doing so much hard work in the back end so that everyone knows you. Please.
Oh goodness, my lighting is a bit bad, but hi. My room is very dark. Thank you so much. I had so much fun helping everybody, and this was a great session. I look forward to engaging with you guys some more. Thank you.
Thank you, Andisa. We couldn't do it without you. Anyone else? I'd love to hear a little bit more, a few more voices. Okay. Thank you, girls. My last thing for this evening, and I'm just going to share my screen for the last time before we turn on some music. One of the things that we, as I mentioned right in the beginning, is that we always have work to do between the sessions. And this work is so important because it builds from one session to the next. And so there are some things that we're going to ask you to do. Please, 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 if you can. And I, for some reason, won't show on my screen. One more time. Let me try again. So straight after this, we are going to send out a feedback form on the WhatsApp groups. Please, can I ask every single one of you to complete the feedback forms? It's really important for us to make sure that we improve each session, we make each session better, that we know what you've enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy. So please, please fill out the feedback forms. That feedback goes, you know, to G4G South Africa, and we consolidate it to make sure that we are improving the program, not only in South Africa, but globally as well. We're going to share a video. The next session is on courageous leadership. And ladies, if you're going to attend any session, this is the session to attend, okay? Please don't miss it. It's fundamentally the one that will help you find out why you're here, what you do, you know, what there is in the future. It's a beautiful, beautiful session. Please don't miss it. It's really important. Watch the video, okay? What I would like you to try and do for the next session is think about some personal goals. You may have talked about them in your circle, but maybe they've changed a little bit since your circle. Maybe there's something that after a conversation with some of your mentors, you thought, maybe I'll think about it differently. So think about 3, maybe, and they don't have to be big goals. They can be tiny goals. It can be finish my exams this year, or get my degree, or apply for that position that I really, really wanted to, or something. It can be anything, as small or big as you want it to be. But then, this is very important. I want you to think about leaders that you admire. They can be anywhere in the world. They can be in your community. They can be in your family. They can be in your country, wherever you want. Think about leaders that you admire. And I'd say think about 2 or 3 if you can. And then think about why you admire them. What it is about those leaders that makes them stand out to you. What is it about them that you really love and that you admire? So that is your homework, 1 to 4. And then, of course, practice building trust. Practice connecting with people. The people you connect with are the people you are vulnerable with. Be vulnerable. Start conversations with strangers. You might be surprised, okay? You might be sitting next to one and you just start a conversation, and you know what? It could fundamentally change your life. And I'll tell a personal story in this respect. Honestly, I was traveling once and there was this person sitting next to me. I didn't have a place to stay. I didn't know where I was. I was a little bit lost. I was just arrived in the city and I was a bit nervous. And I'm very introverted, believe it or not. I am very introverted. And this gentleman next to me started chatting, talked about his family. I ended up telling him my story. They invited me to their home that evening. They are still friends to this day. This incredible, just by opening up, sharing, and things can happen. So practice trust. Practice opening up and being vulnerable and connecting this week if you can. And then last thing, let's see some logo pictures for next week. The pictures of your circle. Why don't you guys design something, create your WhatsApp groups in your circles, and let's have some pictures and design some pictures that we can then share. And we'll make a social media post with our pictures of our beautiful names, the lotus, the pillars. I can't remember all of them now, sorry. And the links. Let's see some pictures. And that is it. Any questions, any concerns, any feedback? I would love to hear from you.
Question.
Yes.
will we have WhatsApp groups for our village?
Yes, you can definitely create WhatsApp groups for your village.
How do you get the contacts? Do you use the email address?
I will share the contact list with you, and then you can contact them.
Thank you.
All right, and then last but not least, we had the most incredible guest this evening. Phetso, thank you for being with us. Thank you for sharing your beauty, your guidance, your wisdom. We are so grateful to you, and thank you for going from group to group and for staying for the whole session. Many speakers don't do that. We really value your time, and we are very, very grateful to you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Val. Thank you, ladies. And thank you for inviting me. We can connect on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Phetso Ntsowe. I'm available if you need to have a conversation. Please do reach out to me. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I'm going to play some music.